Today's live Dallas Cowboys report is presented by Aura. They offer all-in-one digital safety for you and the whole family when you head over to aura.com/chatsports. A free 14-day trial is available when you use that link. Cancel at any time, so there's really no reason not to give it a shot with Aura. Aura.com/chatsports. The pinned poll of today's show, with the early results not surprising me that much. Will Sean Payton, whether it's 2023, 2024, whatever, will he become the Dallas Cowboys head coach? Another report linking the two sides because, of course, there's another report there. Y for yes, N for no. Sound off for me in the comment section. 67% going yes, 33% going no. Don't run out Dan Quinn, by the way. Producer Jeremy's back again. You can boo in the comments if you want.
Boo.
Hello, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's gonna be Sean. Unless the Cowboys make it to the NFC Championship game and it's not a blowout. Like if the Cowboys lose in the NFC Championship game close, I don't see them canning McCarthy. They don't make it there.
What if they make it to the divisional round and there's a horrible flag on the field for garbage pass interference that cost them the game, and the refs screwed them? What about then, Jeremy?
Well, then wouldn't that just be every single Cowboy season?
Exactly, you get it. Y for yes, and for no. Shout out Josh and Lewis for booing you.
Ran over Dak in the last seconds of the game.
Cayman says yes. Marco says no. D-Block88 says no. This one is very much going to continue to be a storyline up every single week of the season. Every time the Cowboys lose a football game, because they'll lose football games, duh, it's going to be hire Sean Payton, fire Mike Wright every single time. And it's going to be up to McCarthy to block out that noise as best as possible. This did open up at 73% yes. 36% now say no, down to 64% yes. So it's dropping as more people tune in, which I do find quite fascinating. Fun question for you guys now. Not that one, Jeremy. Who has more yards this year for the Cowboys? MG for Michael Gallup. I have not yet seen MG in the live chat. We'll see if he's okay. Our loyal number one Dallas Cowboy hater. Or JT for Jalen Tolbert. Who will have more yards this year? In a healthy year, it's unquestionably Gallup, I think. But he's going to miss probably at least 3 games, if not more. And that's going to impact the yardage production. So, MG or JT, who finishes with more yards this year? I'll give some shout-outs. Chris Hill says JT, so does Zeno Sayin and Sergio. Caminese? I think that's what it is. Brendan, Creighton, all typing in JT. MGs, though, from Luke D, Carlos Ortiz, Daniel Moriarty, Bust714, Boondock Saints, Lawrence Smith, Joel Harris, JBS Hill, Zach Smallwood. Pretty even numbers on this one. Rashard Lee spamming his JT.
It's going to be JT.
Why do you think that, Jeremy? Because he shares a J name with you? Is that why?
Well, yes.
Okay.
But also, I think he's just going to get more play. I mean, I don't think Michael Gallup, even if he's on the field, I don't think he's going to be truly the Michael Gallup that you know until week 6.
Okay.
I mean, we all know, like, coming back from injury, like, even once you've rehabbed the injury, those first couple of games back, you're always a little rusty. I don't think he's going to have a 100-yard game until halfway through the season. Jalen Tolbert, on the other hand, they're going to be doubling CD. There's going to be a lot of eyes on Schultz, so that's going to affect Schultz's numbers, like I told you before the show, Tom.
Yeah, we did talk about that before the show.
Jalen Tolbert.
It's a pretty even split. MG, JT's. I think I'll make that a community post as well, since this one is a fairly even split, and it's very tough to find 50-50 splits on almost anything in the modern world. Also, Mad Dog talking about Sean Payton still, and Texan Third says, Eagles suck, Jeremy. The end. All right, pick one for me. Let's go safety. If you can only keep one of these two on your roster this year. I am for Israel Mukuamu, MB for Marquise Bell. Sound off for me in the comments section. Which one would you rather have on the roster, IM or MB? Get those votes in. While the votes are coming in, Andres Gonzalez, a $10 super chat that I also want to put in the mailbag, by the way, Jeremy. So I'll go short on the initial answer here, Andres. Eagles are whack. Everyone type LOL in the comments. And would you send a first for Darren Waller? It's an issue when you've got Dalton Schultz on your contract, on your books this year. That's probably a no-go. Would Derwin James be someone you'd want the Cowboys to pursue next year, or at least take a look at? I mean, yes, it's Derwin James. The only way the Turtles let him go if he's not healthy, and that, I think, would raise some potential red flags there. I think the Turtles will end up paying Derwin James. Waller's probably the more obtainable, but do you want to pay Darren Waller big-time money and then give up first for him and then also have Schultz stuck on your team at almost $11 million? It's a little tricky. So pick one, IM or MB, Mukuamu or Marquise Bell.
Tom, we talked about it before the show. I think we gotta let him know.
About what?
Today is National Mac and Cheese Day.
It is.
We so happen to still have some mac and cheese ice cream.
We do.
So, if we get to $69 in super chats, not only will me and Tom take shots, we will also take shots of mac and cheese ice cream.
And by shots, I mean we just eat some of it.
No, I'll put it in shot glasses for us.
That's kind of weird, but okay. So we're at $9.99 right now, so 60-ish to go. We'll bust out some shots and do mac and cheese ice cream.
Lance Dunbar's burner.
Sure, it looks awesome. I don't know what you guys are talking about. You're all crazy. Right, Daniel. Izzy Mukuamu did not play that much last year. Marquise Bell is the hyped UDFA, and the Cowboys' safety depth is better than what it's been in a very long time in the organization. If you only carry 4 safeties, if everyone's healthy, one of these two still not going to go that great. I am for Israel Mukuamu and MB for Marquise Bell. All right, predict the Cowboys record for me in 2022. I'm reading Sergio's comment. Says, Tom, if you remember Jordy, he thinks I'm a weenie for watching the show. He said if Super Chats to get to 50, he'll admit I'm not. Well, there we go. Also, Jordy is the member of Super Weenie Hut Juniors. So, predict the Cowboys record for me in 2022. Be honest. 10-7 from Toxic Tom Downey burner account. 10-6 from Truly AJ. 17 games. Got to add one. We're not doing ties, you communist, Jeremy. Garage Grade Race Car says 10-7. Ja'Cory Larry says 12-5. Dexon Third says 11-6. Gary Sane says 10-6. Brian Gutierrez says 10-7. 17 games, guys. Remember to throw those in. 13-4, 9-8, 18-0 from Eagles Are Still Trash. It's probably the cooler Jeremy's burner account right there. 11-6 and a playoff run, 17-0, 13-4, 12-5, 12-5, 12-5, 13-4.
You know, 18-0 gets you to the divisional round, or I guess I would get you to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
You finally win a divisional round matchup.
There you go. And then you see what happens after that.
Then you lose.
Well, you're 18-0 though, so you just don't know what happens after that.
Oh yeah.
12-5, 12-5, 11-6, 7-10, start 2-6, and the coach is gone. Yeah, we'd all be calling for McCarthy's head at that point. 11-6, 11-6, 11-6.
That like the most reasonable one right there.
Oh, you can stop it, Jeremy. 11-6, 13-4, 69-0. There you go. 10-7 wins the division with the heads-up tiebreaker, so I'll say 10-7. 9-8, 14-2. Again, 17 games. Make the math work there, guys. Keep those votes coming. Predict the Cowboys record for me this season. What would you guys do with Tristan Hill? Type in K for keep or D for dump. Those are your options with the, let's call him what he is, a bust so far as the team's second-round pick, and they're simply put, might not be room anymore on the Dallas Cowboys defensive tackle depth chart. We'll look at some roster battles later on in today's show, and that will indeed be one of them. All right, Shugs, you're back again. You've got too much power.
Is he a Cowboys legend?
Not yet. Not yet. He becomes a Cowboys legend if and when he gets cut. But if you're on the Cowboys, you're just a Cowboy. Once you get cut, moved on from, and if you weren't actually great, you become a Cowboys
Jaquan
legend.
Hardy?
Cowboys legend, unfortunately. He's joined the group.
There we go.
Very sad. Great one though, in terms of that standpoint.
Yeah, he had that one Hard Knocks episode.
Yeah, that's the point of the Cowboys legend meme. It's for guys like Jaquan Hardy, and also for guys who played for the Cowboys briefly, and played elsewhere, but when they get signed again, it's former Cowboys player is the headline, because that always annoys me to no end. So what would you guys do with Tristan Hill? K for keep, D for dump. Mostly D. Now we got people mentioning Cowboys legends like Tashard Choice. Exactly. Stuart says D. Javier says D. Truly says D. Gary says keep. And that is pretty much the only keep I see. Trade proposal, though, from Jordan, Jeremy, right up your alley. Tristan Hill for a box of Cosmic Brownies. Who says no? I don't know. Those brownies are fire. Those are some of the best brownies out there.
Have you tried the Cosmic Brownie ice cream?
No, but now I want that because that sounds delicious.
You haven't heard about this?
No.
Walmart did a deal with Little Debbie. All their Little Debbie snacks are now in ice cream form. So like Nutty Bars, Cosmic Brownies, Honey Buns.
Honey Buns, no. But Cosmic Brownie, let's ride. That sounds delicious.
Nutty Bars are my favorite.
I don't mind that either. All right, keep the votes coming. K for keep or D for dump. Remember, $69 in Super Chats today, and we will do the mac and cheese ice cream and shots here on the Cowboys Report. Not necessarily in that order. I don't know what the better order actually is in the end. Now, if you want us to get today's show going, help us out by liking the video. 215 people watching live right now and 54 likes. They are the Nutter Butters, not the Nutter Butters? Nutter Butters are way better.
Nutter Butters are the cookies. I'm talking about the Nutty Bars.
I gotta Google this.
You've seen them before. They're like the two chocolate wafer things. You know what I'm talking
about. I'm confused now. Because I was thinking, oh, okay. I've definitely just mixed up those two before in the past. I know what you're talking about.
I like Nutty Bars.
I 100% have just merged those two in my head over the years of they're the same thing, name, even though they're different items. But I know what you're talking about there. That's delicious.
You're like Andy in that episode of The Office that doesn't know the Kit Kat.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. Fancy feast. Exactly. Like the video if you want us to get today's show going. A quick super chat will hit here, by the way, from Zach Taylor, predicting the Cowboys record. Not that Zach Taylor. 6-9-2. If the Cowboys do that, it would be hilarious from a meme perspective, but also bad because they went 6-9-2. And I believe if you tie twice in a season, instant firing of your head coach has to happen. That is 2 ties. This is not soccer.
What
not
if you
Chelsea.
What if you go 15-0-2?
Undefeated season.
You said fire.
Too bad though.
You said fire.
Gotta go. 2 ties are un-American. At that point, just take the L. I remember playing Mario Party as a kid, and didn't know the game, Jimmy, with the 4 balls, and you all try to hit each other off. Yeah. If one of you's alive at the end and I'm involved, I'm kamikazing off the side. No ties allowed. I will take second and not deal with it splitting for a tie.
If you were in a race and you and the person next to you were tied for first, you would slow down on purpose to get second.
No, I would speed up to win, but because that's how it would work. Well, then we're not going to tie. Somebody has to win.
No, you're going to tie.
Then I have to slow down. Those are the rules.
Just like in the first Cars movie.
There you go. If you want us to get today's show going, like the video, up to almost 75 likes, 72 at this moment with 250 people watching. So, good enough by my end. Here's what's coming up on today's show. I see your Super Chat hoodie, G, by the way. We'll break that down in the Cowboys mailbag. So use #Cowboys or Super Chat if you want to get on the show. Only the one mailbag today, so if you want your question answered, guaranteed, you probably Super Chat. We'll also break down some Cowboys news and rumors, Jaquan Hardy's release in light of the Malik Jefferson signing we broke down this morning, some roster battles on defense entering training camp, and the Deebo Samuel DK Metcalf trade stuff is back again, and I don't know if people are actually some people out there at least, having that conversation in good faith. We'll break it all down here live on the Cowboys Report. But remember, trade rumors aspect, after hours, exclusively on Rumble. You're watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey, and today's show is made possible by our friends over at Aura. They offer all-in-one digital safety. That's financial protection, identity theft protection, all of it covered in their fancy all-in-one online safety tool. And they're giving you a free 14-day trial when you head over to aura.com/chatsports. That link will be in the comments section, and it will be in the description of today's show. Some news to break down before we get too far into the Sean Payton rumors, because those are back again. Jaquan Hardy's time in Dallas is over with the signing of Malik Jefferson, which we broke down this morning for you guys right here on the Cowboys Report. The Cowboys had to make a roster spot open, and they did so by releasing Jaquan Hardy, who played briefly last year out of Tiffin, a UDFA. So this is where the Cowboys' running back depth chart sits currently. Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle. Ryan Nall is a hybrid fullback, hybrid type of player. Nick Ralston is a fullback, and 2 UDFAs this year. Aaron Shamklin out of Harvard, who's a bit more of a bursty Tony Pollard type of player from like explosiveness, speed perspective. And Malik Davis, who the Cowboys like quite a bit. They are very high on him, even though I didn't love him at Florida, but he can pass protect. He fits more of the Zeke style of runner. That will be your RB3 battle. Dowdle, Shamklin, Davis, and maybe a fullback hybrid mixed in there with Ralston and Nall. In other Cowboys news, Adam Schefter says the Cowboys and tight end Dalton Schultz are not expected to reach an agreement on a contract extension before tomorrow's franchise tag deadline. Because of course they are not. And we all know that because you've been subscribed and you've been watching the Cowboys reports, and we've broken it down in depth repeatedly. It's not going to get done. The two sides have not even spoken to each other in weeks. And frankly, I wonder if the Cowboys ever planned on getting a deal done, which you know if you're subscribed. So if you're not already, get that changed. Hit the big red button right now. Let's talk Sean Payton and the Dallas Cowboys now, because this rumor, simply put, will never, ever die until Sean Payton becomes the Cowboys head coach, potentially. Those rumors are back again thanks to a new report from the Miami Herald. They listed 3 teams that Payton allegedly has interest in coaching, with all of the buzz once again back around Payton and the Cowboys, because that just never really seems to change from that standpoint. The 3 teams that Sean Payton allegedly has interest in are as follows. The Miami Dolphins, which was the big rumor this offseason. They're going to try to pair Payton and Brady together. Of course, the Dallas Cowboys. And interestingly enough, the Los Angeles Chargers as well. The alleged, and I'll emphasize the alleged part, 3 main factors Sean Payton is looking for: warm weather, a quality roster, a contending roster, and personnel control. Cowboys fit the top 2. It's the third one that maybe Dallas and others could have potential issues with on that standpoint. But we know what's going to happen. This entire season, every time the Cowboys lose a game, fire Mike McCarthy, hire Sean Payton, from loud members of the fan base, because those rumors, which have been around for decades now, maybe a decade, they're not going to get any quieter now that Payton is a free agent. The Saints have his contract rights. A trade would be required. Probably a bit more expensive than the Bruce Arians late-round pick swap from last time. But make your predictions for me. Will Sean Payton become the next Cowboys head coach? Y for yes or N for no? This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So if the ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Type in Y for yes or N for no down at the pinned comment. The big question I have is, we know Jerry Jones loves Sean Payton. Those two go way back. They have a good relationship. What's the Stephen Jones-Sean Payton relationship? More and more, this is becoming the Stephen Jones show. And at minimum, by the way, I would like a real coaching search. For the first time since Wade Phillips, basically, you handed the job to Garrett for 10 years, and you interviewed 2 people when you hired Mike McCarthy. And resume-wise, McCarthy's not that much worse than Sean Payton. It's what's happened in recent years. It's a way, way better metric in favor of Sean Payton compared to Mike McCarthy. I think that Payton bonds and connects with his players better than McCarthy. Not that, McCarthy doesn't bond with his players, but I think Sean's just better at that. Regardless of this, whether it's Payton or Dan Quinn, the pressure is on Mike McCarthy to deliver this year. Every Cowboys player is going to be aware of hey, if we don't win, he's going to be gone. And the noise of the Sean Payton stuff is a distraction. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It is. It's up to the head coach to make sure that does not become a major one for his team. By the way, when it comes to the potential head coaching search, do not rule out Dan Quinn. The Cowboys love him internally, understandably so. Had Quinn been available as a head coach when they hired McCarthy, I think he would have been a very serious contender for that job. So do not rule out the possibility of the Cowboys once again promoting their favorite coordinator to the head coaching position. Now, today's show is made possible by our friends over at Aura. It's Aura.com/chatsports. They offer financial fraud protection, identity theft protection, online and device security, and family plans for up to 5 members of your family. Aura.com/chatsports. The financial fraud protection is essential. How many of you, I know I have several times, have had their credit card or debit card compromised? Even if it's in your possession, somehow they get your information. I don't know how. Aura helps prevent that. Near real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries at Aura.com/chatsports. A free 14-day trial for you when you get started over at Aura.com/chatsports. That link is in the comment section and it's in the description of today's video. Let's go to Jalen Tolbert now, as maybe you follow some of the other major websites, PFF, fantasy guys, etc. Like, Jalen Tolbert's going to start. The Athletic said so. Duh. Where have we been? This has never not been the expectation. The second the Cowboys drafted Jalen Tolbert, it's like, yeah, he's probably going to start for you week 1 because you need the receiver help. CeeDee Lamb is going to be your receiver 1. Once he's healthy, Michael Gallup is going to be receiver 2. But he's not going to be healthy. So in the modern day NFL, when you use 3 receiver sets, it's Tolbert and probably James Washington. And given the level of investment in Tolbert compared to Washington, of course it's going to be Tolbert. Like, the fact I was very surprised, and I blame the fantasy people in the end, to have so many wow, Tolbert's the starter headlines. Duh. The article mentioned it in passing because we all know that's the case. The question I have for you is far more interesting, I think. Who ends up with more yards this year? Type in MG for Michael Gallup or type in JT for Jalen Tolbert. Make your predictions for me right now in the comment section. Tolbert, I thought, was an undervalued receiver in this year's draft. I actually had him rated higher than anybody of the Cowboys drafted this year, which is good for him, maybe not so good for others. The tricky part for Dallas is, when does Gallup get back? And Tolbert reminds me in many ways of Gallup in terms of there's no glaring weaknesses to his game. He's a very quality football player, undervalued, smaller school guy. I like him. I also know that it does take time for rookies to adjust. In the modern day NFL, receivers not nearly as long of the transition as they had in the past with the way college offenses are run. But I do think we have to keep that in mind. He's a 3rd-round pick. Don't expect instantaneous, peak Des Bryant all of a sudden out of Jalen Tolbert. Coming up next, we have the Cowboys workout details. They worked out 4 players on Friday, and they actually already signed one of them, by the way, in linebacker Malik Jefferson. We broke down that video earlier this morning. If you watched it, awesome. If not, you can check it out. It's on the channel. The thumbnail looks just like this right here for you guys. A potential linebacker depth edition, which you knew that happened. If you're subscribed, hit that big red button at youtube.com/CowboysTV. All right, the 4 workouts. Malik Jefferson, who, of course, they've now signed. T.J. Brunson, most recently with the New York Football Giants, or at least was drafted by the Giants, I should say. Maurice Alexander and KaVontae Turpin, wide receiver and punt returners. There's 2 trends here, and really maybe 2.5. Linebacker depth and punt return options. The other half there is special teams. If you're getting signed in July and it's not a premier name, you have to contribute on special teams. We'll break down the other 3 guys more in depth here. But with the signing of Jefferson now official, announced by the team, by the way, do you want to sign any of those other 3 names, Brunson, Alexander, or Turpin? 1 for yes, you do. 0 for no, you do not. Sound off right now for me in the comments section. Start with the least likely name here. That is T.J. Brunson. 2020 draft pick, 7th round by the Giants, 3 career tackles. The Cowboys worked him and Jefferson out by signing Jefferson. I think that means they're not going to sign Brunson at this point. And maybe if there's injuries, they could revisit that. They'll add him to their, list of players they could sign, but I don't know at this point. Next up is Maurice Alexander, small school kid, was in the USFL this past year. 20 receptions, 234 yards. He was a better kick returner than he was a punt returner for the Philadelphia Stars, but he does have the experience doing both. And I do not believe it is an accident that the Cowboys brought in 2 of those guys. There is still uncertainty, even if Jalen Tolbert is the favorite to be the punt returner this year. Then there's KaVontae Turpin. Local Cowboys fans will know him. He played, of course, at TCU, was the USFL's leading receiver with 540 yards and 4 scores in their, abbreviated-ish season relative to like NFL number of games. Very talented player. Here's the problem. It's never been about the talent for KaVontae Turpin. The reason why he didn't get a shot in the NFL when he was first eligible was because he got kicked out of TCU for domestic violence charges, one of which he pled guilty to. One in New Mexico was later dropped. So he's Josh Ball, basically, is what I'm saying. And very talented player. If I draw the line at not wanting abusers on my team, I don't think that's an unfair line to draw. So he could help you as a punt returner. No doubt about it. I think I can find a punt returner who doesn't beat up women. Just my thoughts. Predict the Cowboys record for me in 2022. It's a low bar, I know, but it is my bar. Predict the Cowboys record for me in 2022. I'll give some shout-outs here. Dallas 8-9, MM, the next scapegoat, says 8 wins. Shocking, I know on that one there. 11-6 from Zeno saying there. What are you chuckling about, Jeremy? All I hear is over there. You better be focused in on your work. Yeah. 17-0, 11-0. What? 11 doesn't make any sense. 11-6, 12-5, 7-10, 11 wins.
10-6-1, 9-7-1.
Drink my Baja Blast.
What is that? 8-9. Wait, 8-1.
Can you read?
Yeah.
Are you blind? You're like. How does that say? I have glasses. I have contacts in. Do you need contacts and glasses?
Oh, 11-5-1.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Zeno?
How many fingers am I holding up, Jeremy?
I can't see that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
We weren't on Rumble, so I couldn't show you what I was actually doing.
He's got such tiny fingers.
Fat Sushi Man says 0-6-9, 20-0 from Mike McCarthy's burner account. A lot of 11-6s. That has been the steady answer more than anything.
A lot of people saying that I'm awesome in the chat.
Okay,
I don't know.
you can't say Zeno says you're awesome and go, a lot of people are saying.
I don't know.
That's ludicrous.
That's just the first one I saw.
Yeah.
I haven't been paying attention to the chat 24/7. Yeah. So.
Jeremy chugs his burner says 11-5-1.
He's right.
Okay, so 11 wins now.
Nah.
I got you though. I got you. 9-8. Let's be honest. 11-6. Dallas 8-9 says Chugs and Tom are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
13-4. 11-5-1. 11-6. 9-8. 10-7. 13-4. 10-7. Carson Wentz trying to get some information on the enemy. He says 10-7. Interesting. Got 10 wins from Wentz allegedly. John Williams says 15-2. And 11-6 from Carson. Coming up next is going to be our Cowboys mailbag. 2 ways to get on the show. The simple one is just use hashtag Cowboys. It gets you in the queue, although you are at the mercy of producer Jeremy picking your question, and he is certainly not above flattery. And bribes also work in the form of super chats. That skips the line, puts you at the front of it. What's up, Chugs?
It's National Mac and Cheese Day.
Yes, it is.
We're trying to eat some mac and cheese ice cream.
You might be trying to. I will do it for you, the people.
Our boss said we can't unless we get to $69 in super chats.
We're at 18-something right now, so heading in the right direction.
Hey, I'm just saying, mailbag. It's mailbag time. send in some super chats, get your question answered, and you get to either make me eat mac and cheese ice cream or make Tom.
We'll both eat it. We'll both eat
it. But
Andres Gonzalez, Hoodie G, and Michael Herrera, I see your super chats. We'll get to those here to start off the mailbag. I will make note, however, that Cowboys Report After Hours is back this week exclusively on Rumble. So head over there and make sure you guys are tuned in for that exclusive live segment. We'll break down the DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel conversation that I think got spun a little bit out of context, but we'll break it down and have some fun with it, since not a day goes by I don't get at least one DM or comment asking for Deebo or for DK Metcalf. So make sure you're on Rumble. Rumble.com/CowboysTV is the URL. The link to the live stream of that right now is in the comments section. It's also in the description of today's show. If you are part of the Noti gang here at Chat Sports, meaning your notifications are set to all instead of personalized, show it by typing me right now in the comments section. And if you're not part of it, get it changed. Click that bell icon where you first subscribe and move it from personalized to all right now. It's Cowboys Report mailbag time. I am Tom Downey, answering all of your questions live from Thursday's show. We begin with a super chat. Andres Gonzalez, Eagles are whack. Love to see it. Anyway, would you send a first for Darren Waller, and would Derwin James be someone you'd want the Cowboys to pursue next year or at least take a look at? So I think the ideal Derwin James play style is kind of more of the Jaron Kearse, Donovan Wilson style, more so than Malik Hooker. So you can make it work if you want to. I don't foresee the Chargers letting Derwin James leave unless he's injured, which actually might be more appealing for Dallas from an investment perspective. As for Darren Waller, I am down to revisit that next offseason, but you're going to have Dalton Schultz on the franchise tag this year. That'll be made official on Friday, I'm sure. You can't pay Dalton Schultz $10.9 million and then trade a first for Waller and then pay him a huge new deal. It's just not the right timing from that standpoint. From Hoodie G, what is the one position the Cowboys improved upon? Ooh, good question. I hope kicker. That's a pretty low bar to end up clearing. I think the ideal improvement position, though, is left guard. If Tyler Smith can be better than Connor Williams, that's going to be a very big deal. I think you're going to have growth from other young guys at various spots, defensive tackle, center potentially. But in terms of additions to your roster, and there weren't very many of them this year. From Michael Herrera, if Dallas does not look like a contender by Thanksgiving, will Dallas do a Jason Garrett-type move and fire McCarthy and make Kellen Moore the head coach? I would be surprised. I think the luster, the shine of Kellen Moore's star has worn off. Now, in the event that the Cowboys' offense is balling and the defense just sucks again, then maybe they could go back to the Kellen Moore situation. But I get the vibe the Cowboys right now are much more enthralled with Dan Quinn. I think he is your favorite to be the internal promotion over Kellen Moore at this point. From Tyler Klutz's burner, a true Cowboys legend, Cowboys like their guys and don't bring in free agents, yet always wait until the last minute to pay and overpay their guys. Make it make sense. I cannot. You're right. That's the problem. They've done it time and time again, right? They wait. They don't want to set the market because they don't think that they have to set the market because of everything that goes along with being a Cowboy. Real quotes, by the way. And then what ends up happening is players go, yeah, but no, I want my fair market value, and plus the agents want that for their clients. And the Cowboys wait and wait and wait, and they let the market set them. Their contract philosophy has not been particularly good, so I can't make it make sense because I think it's wrong. All right, from Eric Elvis. If the Cowboys go 8-9 or something along those lines, I assume, is Mike McCarthy going to get fired? Probably. The last time, to put this in perspective, the last time that the Dallas Cowboys were below 500 with a healthy quarterback was all the way back in 2004. It has been a significantly long period of time, a massive gap from just not being a truly competitive football team. So because of that, yeah, I do think there's a very real chance that I think if the quarterback's healthy and the Cowboys are below 500, absolutely. Mike McCarthy is gone. I have no doubts about that one. Now, my question for you guys is, what do you think will end up happening with Mike McCarthy? Will he be fired? Y for yes or N for no? I want you guys to sound off for me in the comment section. Make your predictions. Will Mike McCarthy be fired by the Cowboys? Y for yes, N for no. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes on YouTube, perfect timing. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. From Join the Dak side, going to my first Cowboys game against the Commies. Where's the best place in Arlington to get brisket? If you're staying in Arlington, I don't have a great answer for you. Maybe Jeremy can chime in more. I would recommend Texas Live, however. I don't remember what restaurants are in there, but Texas Live absolutely is a must-go-to before the game. You got an Arlington spot in mind? Because I'm never in Arlington much. I'm always in Dallas.
I'm just saying it's worth traveling around Dallas to go to all these barbecue spots. But, I mean, Terry Black's is really
Terry Black's
good.
is fire.
Pecan Lodge is amazing. What else?
I got friends coming to town this weekend, and we're going to Pecan Lodge.
Yeah. Put your barbecue spots down in the comments right now. I want to see
Hurtado Barbecue from Benjamin Jones.
I mean, there's tons.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a great barbecue spot, let me know. I'm not out in Arlington much these days anymore, so I don't have a great feel, but I just go to Pecan Lodge. I take the time to go to Deep Ellum. All right, next up on our Cowboys mailbag from Jordan. Tom, what would you have done this offseason as the rightful GM and owner of the Cowboys? I would have given my staff, namely Will McClay and others, the freedom and power to pursue actual upgrades. I would not have simply moved on from Amari Cooper. I would not have spent my early offseason bodying my receiver and then going, oh, shit, we should try to trade him. That's the route I would not have gone. I was actually okay-ish moving on from La'el Collins. You know what I would have done? I would have signed somebody you've heard of in free agency and probably wouldn't have drafted Tyler Smith. I might be wrong on that, but once again, my promise to you, if I am installed as Cowboys owner, 10 years, all I need, and I guarantee a title, or I will do the right thing and sell the team. From Jeremy Chuggs' burner, which best shape of life stories are actually believable? Great question. I don't remember if I have the best shape of life. Maybe I have it saved in my graphics package. We're not going to go to it, though. I'll tell you which one is the least believable to start. The CeeDee Lamb gained 10 pounds and grew an inch. That one is the least believable of all of them. Let's see. We got Ezekiel Elliott in the best shape of his life. Plausible, I think. I actually think that Mike McCarthy does look slimmed down. I think Chauncey Golston gaining weight is actually believable, being in good shape. Did Neville Gallimore add like 16 pounds of muscle? I'm not so sure. But if you're super young, if you're under the age of 26, I believe you when you say you're in the best shape of your life. The Cowboys Report is also on Rumble. Exclusive content like Cowboys Report After Hours, all for free and uncensored as well. We provide the sports. They've got other politics, news, tech, and business stuff. But if you love the Cowboys and want uncensored videos, so when I drop the F-bomb, you can actually hear the uncensored version. Go follow us on Rumble, rumble.com/CowboysTV. Zeno saying, I went to the Cardinals game in 2020. It was painful. That was a rough game. That was the Andy Dalton also got, wasn't playing well. I think he might have been hurt in that game. Or was that the Washington game? One of the two he got hurt. And it was a disaster. I am sorry you to see that embarrassment of a showing. From Lance Dunbar's burner, do zodiac signs contribute to player performance? Sure. Fun fact, I have no idea what my zodiac sign is because I could not give a singular shit about it. From Texan Third, I upset so many weird people on Instagram with that comment. Would you rather have one playoff win and keep McCarthy or not win the division and gain Payton in 2023? Ooh. I think I'd feel better about Payton as my head coach beyond 2023. So I guess give me Sean Payton, and I'll accept the pain of a year for the hope of a better future. From Garage Grade Race Car, they're going to run Elliott into the ground this year before they cut him. I think there's a very real chance that this is Zeke's last year as a member of the Cowboys. So I would not discount at all what you're saying. I don't believe there's any more injury guarantees left on his deal either, so that shouldn't be a concern, I don't think. From Truly AJ, could this be Tyron Smith's last year? I think those last two questions, Tyron Smith, Zeke Elliott, put him in the same bucket. Just like how we put Amari Cooper and the Tank Lawrence in what I call the future problem bucket, that's where Tyron and Zeke are. They have not adjusted their contracts. So if those guys get hurt, if they struggle, they can cut them and move on. The door is open for that option. It absolutely could be. Now, if you enjoy our Cowboys mailbags, then subscribe. Hit that big red button and join us right here on the Cowboys Report for free videos and our live shows. Because remember, if you want to be a part of these Cowboys mailbags, then you've got to be subscribed. From Daniel Moriarty, so Anthony Barr and Ndamukong Suh are still unsigned, and Dallas hasn't signed them. Why is that? I'll go in order. Allegedly, Anthony Barr wanted $11 million per year. No, I'm not paying him. I'm not going to pay him half of that amount there. Ndamukong Suh, the Cowboys haven't shown much interest in. He's also probably a bit out of their price range, self-imposed, of course. Also, it takes two to sign. So oftentimes these veterans, man, they don't want to be at minicamp and OTAs. And if they miss a week of training camp, that's not the end of the world for them. They're older. They need the relaxation time. So I think money is the number one reason why. And I think it's just they don't want to. Hope I'm wrong. From Tommy Upper, that's funny, like the opposite of me. Is Dalton Schultz really a top 10 tight end like ESPN ranked him? Yeah, I think so. Their top 10, by the way, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts, Dallas Goedert, Hawkinson. No real surprises there. After that, it's Schultz, it's Dawson Knox, it's Hunter Henry, it's David Njoku, and Schultz this past year was more productive than all but, frankly, 6 guys on that list. So, yes, Schultz is a top 10 tight end. That's why he's commanding top 5 money. That's how the markets always work. Now, if you don't want to pay him that, I get it. Cowboys feel the same way. But he's a top 10 tight end. So I want you guys, with that in mind, to rank Dalton Schultz among NFL tight ends. He's not 1. He was as high as 5 on that ESPN list. I'm not putting him that high. I've got him 7, 8 range. But I want to hear from you. Where would you rank Dalton Schultz among all the NFL tight ends? Drop that number for me in the comments section, where Schultz ranks among NFL tight ends. Coolio and Elite Gaming. Who is more likely for the Cowboys to get? Deontay Johnson, Julio Jones, DK Metcalf? None of them? I don't think any of those guys are going to get traded. I think Johnson might be the cheaper to afford, and I don't know if the Cowboys want Julio because of injury concerns. So Julio is probably most likely since he's a free agent. I love DK the most, but I'm not getting my hopes up there. From Jordan, can you see CeeDee Lamb becoming a top 5 receiver after this year? I think that the trickiest part of this is not like, does CeeDee Lamb have that elite top-end talent to really emerge as the best of the position? I think the answer is yes, he does, but there's a lot of awesome receivers in the NFL. Think about it this way. Is he suddenly going to take such a big step forward that he is unquestionably better than the likes of Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, and guys like Stephon Diggs? I can get in that conversation, put him in the Deebo, DK Metcalf range, but I think top 5 is probably asking for a bit too much. I'll happily settle for consensus top 15 or even just top 10. From Luis Hernandez, if there was a probable defensive back trade, how would Kenny Moore sound maybe next year? UFA in 2024, only about a $6 million in the Colts cap hit. Maybe Brown and Lewis is gone next year. I think you're right. One or both of those guys is probably gone. Brown's a free agent, and if he plays like he did last year, he's going to be expensive. Kenny Moore is also going to be expensive. If you're trading for him, you're making him a very high-paid receiver or cornerback. I would expect that Kenny Moore gets a new deal from the Colts in the not-too-distant future. From Luke Johnson, why not make a trade for someone like Jesse Bates? Well, we're past the franchise tag deadline. You're not going to add another $11 million inside with no flexibility at the position. I love Jesse Bates. I don't see the Cowboys making that type of splash, nor I see the Bengals moving them right now. Frankly, I don't know if the Cowboys will make any trade. So let me know. What happened? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Will the Cowboys make a trade before the season? From Davis Driver, how does Micah winning Defensive Player of the Year affect LeBron's legacy? I don't see LeBron with any Defensive Player of the Years. Clearly, Jordan's better. No doubt about it. From Bilal, I think this is Dan Quinn's last year as the Cowboys' defensive coordinator. Yes. He will either be the Cowboys' head coach next year, or he will be a head coach somewhere else. Unless the defense regresses beyond the normal level of expectation, he's going to be a head coach again. Last one from Zeno saying, if Ezekiel Elliott stays healthy and is abused, like I think you mean and is used, like Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey, will he lead the league in rushing? It's possible. It's a big volume thing there. If he plays like he did before his injury last year, yeah, and that guy was averaging almost 5 yards per carry. That efficiency on that volume, that would lead the NFL in rushing, yes. If we did not get to your questions, blame producer Jeremy. Hit me up on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney with any and all Cowboys questions that you have. Our next one is one for you. Will the Cowboys win a title in the next 5 years? Jeremy, don't answer. Don't answer. Talk about something else. Don't answer. Don't answer. Why for yes and for no in the comments section?
Funny, just like the Cowboys,
I'll throw this pen at you, I swear to God.
Texas is in a really bad drought right now.
Okay. It's not an answer. You are right, though. Those are facts.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You be careful. I want to believe yes, otherwise it's going to be disappointing. It'll be frustrating. We will all be very unhappy.
I was told I'm not allowed to answer this.
You are not allowed to answer this.
So I'm not going to answer.
Good job. Richard says no. Vince, Carson, Bunker, Toad French, Gary says yes. Zeno says never blame Jeremy. Watch me. Enormous West, that's Kanye's cousin, says yes. Carson says yes. Zeno loves you, Chugs.
Zeno's my guy.
He is your one supporter in the comments section.
No, I have a lot of people like me in the comments section.
Albert, they love to hate you.
Hey, all I heard is love.
You have to wear the clown mask one day, like I did on Giants. Celine, by the way, on Rumble says no. Daryl says yes. Ham says Jeremy's overrated. Wow, we gotta bring back the keep or fire Jeremy poll question for live shows this year. Conrad says yes. John Williams says yes. D'Angelo says yes. L for Jeremy from Jordan. There you go. Isaac says no, and Young says maybe.
New poll. Let's get it going.
And I'll leave that one up. We'll save it. Let's save it.
I already ended the poll.
Jeremy, you went rogue on me again. I dropped my pen. Now I can't throw it at you. So I pick it back up. Why for yes and for no? Will the Cowboys win a title in the next 5 years? The final votes on the Sean Payton as Cowboys head coach, 68% say yes. There is a new one. Do you like Jeremy? Yes or no?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, see?
You just voted yes. I tried to do it before you did. Damn it.
Let's go.
All right, Keith, you can vote on that live poll change. Yes or no, do you like Jeremy? Last segment coming up after that. Some Cowboys trade rumors on some of the DK Metcalf Deebo stuff is back again, which I kind of didn't like. Also, Dallas89 says no, he doesn't like you because you ignored his question. That's the problem with being producer. They love you or they hate you in the end.
Oh, here we go.
Now he's going to... Oh, my God. This is pandering, Jeremy. This is pandering. Oh, God.
Chances JJ is saving money to pay off Dak in 23 and then get out of the contract in year 4. Also select Max Johnson the next draft.
I think if they were going to do that, they would not have restructured his deal. That made it trickier to get out of. Now, I'll say this. they will blame the quarterback contract next offseason for why they can't make any moves. They'll be like, oh, the quarterback's making the money, the cap, the pot.
How can we pay DK? We have Dak.
When we got that Micah deal coming down the road, that's what they're going to do. They've already done it. They're going to keep doing it.
No way we can pay Kenny more. We got to pay Dak.
We're already paying Dak so much money, even though he's actually been very cheap so far with the way they've structured the deal smartly. He also says draft Max Johnson. Let's see how he plays this year. Let's start there and see how it goes.
You must be an LSU or an A&M fan.
It's one of those two, and I don't know which way it is. Anyway, Cowboys Report After Hours, available on Rumble. That link will be in the live chat and the comment section. We'll talk DK Metcalf trade, Deebo trade as well, all on that exclusive live segment after the final segment of the live Cowboys Report here on Facebook and on YouTube. Today's Cowboys Report is made possible by Aura. They offer all-in-one digital safety for you and your entire family. With a free 14-day trial that you can cancel at any time, there's no reason not to give them a shot and help keep your personal and financial information safe online. Aura.com/chatsports is the link. It'll be in the comment section and the description of today's show. We're talking roster battles today. Defense only. Not as many starting jobs open, I don't think, as offense, but plenty of depth spots. We begin with the starting job of defensive end number 2. And I believe we're looking at a couple different players contending for this gig. Dorrance Armstrong, I believe, is the favorite. The contract was indicative of borderline starter. He had a breakout year last year. He fits, I think, pretty well opposite DeMarcus Lawrence as a better run stopper than Sam Williams and Dante Fowler, who I think are the other two contenders for that starting job. Fowler, by the way, I believe is actually still kind of competing for a roster. But he could be defensive end 2 or off the team. A very wide range of outcomes. Armstrong and Sam Williams are going to make this team. I think by the end of the year, and I hope this too, is that Sam Williams emerges as your number 2 snap getter at defensive end. But of the 3 names, who will start opposite DeMarcus Lawrence, praying to God he's healthy, in week 1? Type in DA for Dorrance Armstrong, DF for Dante Fowler, or SW for Sam Williams. Next up, and I'm grouping a lot of different spots together here, is defensive tackle, where the rotation needs to be sorted out, as does who actually makes the team. I think your roster locks, quote-unquote, are Osa Odigizua, Neville Gallimore, and maybe John Ridgeway, but not necessarily. I could see every roster spot beyond Osa and Gallimore being up for grabs. That includes Carlos Watkins, that includes Tristan Hill, Quinton Bohanna, and Ridgeway. One of them will make it. It's a question of whether or not they choose to carry 2 fatties along the defensive line. And it sounds like Chauncey Golston is going to get some run as more of the 3 technique, that true Tyrone Crawford mold of the hybrid defensive end, defensive tackle. Maybe you see him even be a base defensive end who gets reduced down inside. I am very excited to see how he's used at training camp and in the preseason. The bubble player is one Tristan Hill, who I think will probably have to beat out Carlos Watkins in particular. His contract is not one that's guaranteed this year in terms of making the roster. Hill has drawn immaturity concerns from 3 different defensive coordinators, from Chris Richard, Rod Marinelli, to Dan Quinn as well. He's still young. He's very athletic, but he has not been nearly the player the Cowboys were hoping he was going to be. So will Tristan Hill make the Cowboys roster? Y for yes, N for no. This question is the pinned comments on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, bam, perfect timing. Take advantage of it. Head down to the pinned comment and let me know. Let's talk cornerback depth now. Your starters, despite what maybe the initial plan was when you drafted Kelvin Joseph, I think are pretty clear. It's Trayvon Diggs, who broke out better than anyone could have hoped for. Anthony Brown exceeded all expectations last year, and Jordan Lewis played pretty well. Those 3 are going to start. It's the rest of the depth chart that needs sorting out and determining and everything. Because I assume CJ Goodwin will make the team as a special teamer. If we don't include him, if we include guys like Diggs, Brown, Lewis, Kelvin Joseph, Nashawn Wright, and Deron Bland, are the Cowboys going to carry 6 corners? Because if they only carry 5, not including C.J. Goodwin, and no one gets hurt, somebody's got to go. So how many corners will make the roster in 2022? It's at least 5. Is it 6? Or do the Cowboys cut one of their recent draft picks? Or does maybe even someone gets hurt? Let me know in the comments section. Now, Kelvin Joseph is the murky situation here. Bossman Fat has had his off-the-field issues on full display for the entire nation this year, a part of a murder investigation in which the car he was in drove by and murdered somebody, which is just unbelievably horrible. Joseph, however, has the Cowboys' support for now, but they did not trust him last year, and they knew there were issues coming in to his draft process, and they took a gamble on him. So far, not many rewards from that standpoint. I think their goal was Kelvin Joseph is our outside corner starter in 2022. That plan's been delayed, in part by Joseph, in part by a great play from Anthony Brown. He's going to make the team. He might be suspended, but he'll be on the team. It's a matter of what impact does he make in year 2. Nashawn Wright, the Athletic put him on the roster bubble, and I would be very surprised if that is the route the Cowboys chose to go, of just moving on and dumping him altogether. He was a 3rd-round pick, and yes, I did not love Nashawn Wright coming out of Oregon State, but he was a 3rd-round pick. I would be surprised if the Cowboys cut him. But they like Deron Bland a lot, the Fresno State draft pick, who I think has some great upside too. He can play inside, outside, some special team stuff. It comes down to a potential numbers game. And even safety, part of that whole numbers game conversation. How deep are you going to go at defensive back? Somebody, if everyone's healthy, might be on the outside looking in. Now, if you don't want to be on the outside looking in when it comes to the safety of your financial information, make sure you're using Aura, aura.com/chatsports. That link in the comments, in the description, will give you a 14-day free trial of their all-in-one online safety tool. They'll help keep you and your entire family safe. Me and my almost 8-month-old now baby girl at home, and Jeremy and his new fiance. Yay, Jeremy. This is the first time we've been live since it happened. I forgot to do that. I should have given you a shout-out. Aura.com/chatsports, a free 14-day trial when you head over. One more time, that link URL, aura.com/chatsports. That link will be in the comments section and the description. You can cancel at any time. There's no reason not to give it a shot. All right, safety, namely the last safety spot or spots, is available here. Donovan Wilson, and of course, no particular order, Donovan Wilson, Jaron Kearse, and Malik Hooker are going to make this team. It's safety 4 and maybe 5 that's up for grabs. That's Israel Mukuamu. Marquise Bell, I think, are your favorites. Bell is everyone's darling this year. Izzy Mukuamu was that guy last season. Also have heard very good things about Tyler Coyle, the UDFA last year, and the other UDFA safety, Wanye Thomas, this year. So because of that, I think the safety depth is better than it's ever been. And if you're going deeper at corner, you might go lighter at safety. You could only end up carrying 4. And Mukuamu made no real impact last year for the Cowboys. He was a stash. He was barely active, no stats, nothing. But he's got the size Dan Quinn covets. And I had a 5th-round grade on Marquise Bell. He was one of my top 10, I think it was, total available undrafted free agents this year. And the Cowboys nabbed him. Pretty big signing bonus. He's got a great chance to make the team. Doesn't mean he will necessarily. So that position battle, I like them both. I want to keep both. Might not have the spot. So if you can only pick one of these 2 guys to go behind Donovan Wilson, Kearse, and Malik Hooker, who would it be? IM for Israel Mukuamu, MB for Marquise Bell. Linebacker depth is next up, and this has already begun to see some changes with recent roster moves made by the Cowboys. Micah Parsons, who will put the linebacker edge hybrid, he's one guy. Leighton Vander Esch, Jabril Cox, also there. Luke Gifford for now is linebacker 4. I bet he makes the team because of his special teams value. But linebacker 5 and or 6, totally up for grabs. There's the new signings, Malik Jefferson, Christian Sam, Devontae Bond's out for the year. I think Damone Clark is going to be out for the year, but if he's healthy, he's making the team. That makes things a bit tougher. So you might have 1, maybe 2 of the young guys you added this year. You drafted Devin Harper, who's a fantastic athlete. I liked Aaron Hansford's film pretty good amount out of A&M. Many of you like Story Jackson. Fantastic production against lesser competition at Liberty, by the way. All these guys fighting for a roster spot and or practice squad spot. That is a big deal when it comes to figuring out those numbers. In the end, whoever is the best special teamer, I think will probably end up making the Cowboys' 53-man roster. Now, do you want the best Cowboys training camp coverage? If you do, you've come to the right spot. Simply hit that big red button and subscribe right now for free Cowboys videos every single day, if not multiple times per day. All right, let's talk defensive end depth. We'll come back to that part, the last of the defensive. I'll explain what I mean. Roster battles here in a minute. Obviously, I think your roster locks for Sam Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence, Dorrance Armstrong's not going anywhere. We'll see how they utilize Chauncey Golston as an edge defensive tackle hybrid. I think that leaves maybe one spot for the UDFAs, tough to get there, Dante Fowler and Terrell Basham. And I think Basham has the toughest spot or toughest path to making the roster. He is what he is. So he'll give you about 3.5 sacks, and that's about it. I think Dante Fowler offers more upside. And if Basham's going to be your edge 4, edge 5, you can save almost $2 million by cutting him. He is firmly on the roster bubble as we sit right now. I'm putting special teams here because that just seems right to me. And that is kicker. Maybe one of the most important roster battles all preseason camp for the Cowboys. 2 unknowns-ish relative to the national media level, fighting for the job. First up is UDFA Jonathan Garibay. I think he is going to win the job. Look at the production, right? Missed 2 kicks all year at Texas Tech. Now, more opportunities in the NFL, a lot more pressure, different mindsets. I get all of that. I think Garibay is the favorite to win the job, but this will be a competition officially since the Cowboys brought back a kind of Cowboys legend in Liram Hairulahu, who they briefly had last year. Then he was released. The Panthers had him for a couple games. He was 4 or 5 on field goals, no missed extra points. Better than Greg Zuerlein, and everything with the Commanders briefly as well. So of the kicker options, who will win the job? LH or JG? I'm typing in my JG, but I want to hear from you guys right now in the comment section. One more is punt returner. And I think Jalen Tolbert right now is viewed as the favorite, but the buzz out of OTA's minicamp is they were trying everybody back there. They let some tight ends field punts. Yeah, they don't have a guy right now. They're hoping it's Tolbert. I wouldn't mind trying Tony Pollard back there. But the reason why they worked out some other guys last week, like KaVontae Turpin, was to explore other punt return options. So do not overlook an addition or the need at the punt returner spot. Will Sean Payton be the Cowboys head coach? Why for yes and for no? Reese Ortiz said he wanted Ariza because he can do both. He can't kick. He's not a good kicker. I'm sorry. All right, as your votes come in, as 58% going that they like you, Jeremy. Yeah. You're going to settle. You're settling for 60%. Yeah, it's up to you.
I have a question for you,
Okay.
Tom. 59. It's actually up to 59%.
Ooh.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many Eagles fans would say that they liked you, Tom?
It's a good question.
Do you think 59% of them would like you?
I have no idea.
It's
a great question. All right, super chat from Uology, a.k.a. Jace. What's up, Tom? Miss you big. Hopefully it's all good in the tiny human. She was a nightmare last night, but that's, she's...
Tom came in. He started his day with a Mountain Dew.
Kickstart, which makes it better.
That's how you know.
Which makes it better.
Tom, I come in at 9 a.m.
I was already in the office.
Tom is slurping down a Mountain Dew.
And this is Mountain Dew Baja Blast in here. She fell asleep great last night at at about 10:30 or about 7:30, and then I laid down for bed, and 5 minutes later she wakes up crying, and normally she just wants to be held for a second. I gotta pat her back to put her back to sleep, whatever. Not last night. Last night was I am awake. I don't want to sleep. I'm just gonna you're gonna hold me, and I'm just gonna stare at you for 2 hours, and you can't sleep because that's dangerous. So that was my night. I got maybe 2 hours of sleep. It was worst night we've had so far, but I love her. He also says can't wait to see Dak the stud offense and Parsons to clown some quarterbacks. He did clown some guys last year. The funny part was, and you saw it every time he played somebody, the speed. Mm-hmm. They were not ready for the speed, which was pretty impressive.
We've seen it with a lot of prolific? There we go. There's the word.
You say perfidious?
But what I was going to say before I got tongue-tied.
Yes.
How do you think he's going to do with the double and triple teams this year?
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen.
I think they're going to blitz him more from off ball. I think that's how they're going to try to handle it. I don't think they want to just put him at left or right defensive end and just say, go to the quarterback. They want to try to deploy him creatively, which I'm fine with as long as he still blitzes. Because even if he's getting double teamed, that still frees up others. You can't double team Parsons and Tank and expect the rest of the Cowboys not to occasionally win a one-on-one.
Yeah.
So.
Which he's not at this level yet, but J.J. Watt with the Texans, after his Defensive Player of the Year season, the next year he was legit getting triple teamed multiple times a game.
Donald still is, and it's a lot easier to also double and triple from more of an interior spot than on the edge. You'll get chipped more, but you can't just have the convergence of the offensive line. All right.
Kaysen.
Will Sean Payton be the Cowboys head coach? Y for yes, N for no. Get those last votes in as we're going to get ready to Rumble. We're going to go live, stay live, I should say, exclusively on Rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Bobby Hass and Celine95, I had to wait you out there, are already in that live chat. Everyone get over there. We're going to talk about the Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf story, rumors out there from that standpoint. That link is in the live chat. Nick says Jeremy's cool if he shotguns a beer. How big of a super chat for you to shotgun a beer?
I'll do it for
10?
Yeah.
$10 super. We'll put 1 minute on the clock.
We didn't get to eat the ice cream.
I know there was no ice cream.
Maybe I can shotgun a beer.
Yeah. $10 super chat, and Nick, Jeremy will shotgun a beer. Clock's running. We are going to go, once the timer ends, no more YouTube, no more Facebook, but we'll give you some time, Nick, or anyone to throw in that $10 super. Rumble only for the rest of the live show in our after hours segment. It'll be on DK Metcalf and on Deebo Samuel. Some interesting national conversation in terms of the way that story got spun. We'll break it down. I am surprised that's the way it's gone. Kaysen Burdett says
we don't want to say bye. We don't want to say bye. We want you to go over to Rumble.
Exactly, Kaysen. We want you to go over to Rumble so you can stick with us here and hang out on that side.
We'll tell you bye if you go over to Rumble.
Yeah. Well, if you go to Rumble, we'll say bye once the Rumble is wrapped up. So Facebook's going to end. YouTube's going to end momentarily. Eddie, yes, Rumble does have an app so you can watch it on your phone as well. They got you covered there. Free to download and to follow us there. Rumble.com/Cowboys TV. I don't see it happening, Jeremy. I don't think the $10 super is coming in. We hit the minute mark? All right. That's it. We're going to end on YouTube, end on Facebook as well, exclusively on Rumble, coming up right now here on the Dallas Cowboys Report.
All right. Say bye to Facebook.
All right. Bye, Facebook, and bye, YouTube as well.